ಮೀ ಕೊಂಕಾಲ ದಿರಿ ಉಳುಮೆ ಕುಡ ಇರುವೆಸ್ ಹಮ ಮಿಹೆ ಒಫಿ ಹತ್ತಿಯಯಸ್ ಹಮ ಮಿಹಾಲು ಫಿರಿಮೀಹಾಗೆ ಫರಾತುಂ ವೆಸ್ ತಿಬೆನಿ ಹಮ ಅಣಿಯ ರೇಗವೆಸ್ ವರಂ ಅಣಿಯ ಕುರಿ ಮಿವಾಹಕತ ಕಿಯಾದೇಣಿವೆಸ್ ಕಾಕ ಕಿಯಾದೇಣಿವೆಸ್ ಕೀನೆ
ಉಫಾವಿರಿಕಮಕಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅಂಹಿನಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಸ್ ಹಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂಹಿನುಂ ಹೇಲುಂ ತೆರೆಕುರುಮ ಬಾವಾ ಹಾಸ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 17 ಅಶಾರ ಅದಿನ್ನವಾರಾಗ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಕುರೆವುಮ ನುವೆಂ ಅಶೆ ಫಹೆಸ್ಸುಮೆ ಎಕೆತ್ತಿನ ತಿನಕ ಗುಳುವ ನುವತ www.enlighten.mahaldeep.org ಜಿಯಾರಿಕ್ರವ್ವ
Assalamualaikum Furamendhuru ga moling a program kan horiya bedunten nes maraba miade sound mi Furamendhuru program ka badda kolli around ismana den mi program ki around me komme du ko samati be furna me muhim malumat tak mi genes deni maadega adi rajye ke hisab to isme hingamunda eki club jamiyat ka adi eki harakat ka gule gotun tibe furna malumat genes di තිබේ ෆුළුන්ගේ මිෆද හරක මේ හරකඇත්තක ගුලේගොතුන් තිබේ ෆුළුන්ගේ මවදුමත් මුස්සන්දි කුරුමට්ටක අරුන් මේ ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් එක ගෙනස්තෙනි ඒගොතුන් මියදු සරණමෙන් මේ බද්දු කොල්ලනී හම වර මුහිම්ම මසෙකතගේ කුරවමුන් ගෙන්දවා ක්ලබක මියදු බද්දු කොල්ලනී ප්‍රෝග්‍රෑම් ಗ දෙහස් අවවනහරු ඔෆෙදිගෙන් මිහාතන මසේ කුරමුන් අන්න ක්ලබෙන් මේ ක්ලබකි ඉන්ඩියා ක්ලබ් मी इंडिया क्लब के फरातो में गवर्नमेंट ने कीगा प्रोग्राम के बैर डागनवनी इंडिया क्लब के एग्जीक्यूटिव सेक्रेटरी मनोज नायर आदि एग्जीक्यूटिव कमिटी के मेंबर कृष्णा रेड्डी वेलकम टू द प्रोग्राम
थैंक यू
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल बिफोर वी गो इनटू एनी अदर डिटेल could you please tell us a bit about India Club, how it was formed and what you guys do at IndiaClub?
Actually, as you said, we formed in 2008 for Indian community who are working here, expats. So we want to get the support from the community, among just unite the community and they should not feel away from India. Like that, the idea was there. And moreover, when we are in a foreign country, we need in a lot of different kind of supports from like the government officials like Indian High Commission and even to survive in a foreign country, different kind of supports we require. And among the community also, we need to know each other and don't know what we require from when what we require. So in that way, just one senior's ideas like Manoj and all, just they got an idea to let's form a social club, one social club under India Club name, and who comes newly and who require the support like the new coming people, because we many Indians who are working here, they cannot communicate in English, so different problems will come. Like that people to support and to feel that when we are working here, we should not feel that we are very far from India, and we should feel like we are also we are not missing like India, to celebrate our regular whatever the festivals and our social gatherings in India, what we do like that too. One idea came, so we formed. But after we forming the club, then we more focused into the social service and social help. It's not like only for India Club and who are India Club members like that. Then we expanded our services to the even like for example, club first initiated from Dr. Tatarao from ADK also to want that blood donation camps. So we want to as much what we can give to the locals, especially to them all the events too. So those ideas we are bringing and giving the services like that.
Well, I would just compliment whatever Krishna has said. What happens is actually, when you are in a foreign country, number one, I mean, you are in need of support both locally as well as actually from your own people as well as from the society in which you are living. As one of our previous High Commissioners have rightly put it, I would like to say that being in a foreign country doesn't mean that you work here just as foreigners. I think that particular activity is done best when you relate to the society best. And this can be possible by nurturing and promoting friendly and fraternal ties between foreigners that we are and the society in which we live. IndiaClub, I would say, is a culmination of a thinking like that, where we, in the first and foremost place, we try to connect ourselves better, and in the process, we connect to the Maldivian society better. This can take the form of educating people who are here for work on local norms, traditions, customs, office procedures, and how they need to conduct themselves here best so that they are actually not, they're away from legal hassles. And the second thing is, like what Krishna said, actually, like we also make it a point to indulge in customs and activities which are celebrated in some festivals which are celebrated back in India. See, as you know, we have actually a diverse Indian population here. I would say majority of Indians who are here are from the southern part of India. And of course, you would have not a very significant number of people from the northern part of India. So mostly it will be people who are from the south actually, so who would be, I mean, like in large numbers seen here also. So when you look at India as a diverse nation, actually, like we look at something, we are looking at an expatriate Indian population of roughly 24,000 people here. And this 24,000 itself is very diversely spread around actually among the various atolls. As you know, like bulk of the population consists of teachers, you have accountants, you have doctors, you have people working in the construction sector who are skilled as well as unskilled. So IndiaClub provides a platform for people to come and voice their concerns. Let it be, a difficulty which they have in getting their passports issued. Let it be a difficulty that they have with regard to, their visas being stamped or their work permits being maintained. So that's the welfare side. We also look into sports, where we try to promote sports activities. Number one, among Indians, as well as actually we try to take up sports activities with local teams, sometimes South Asian teams also. See, there have been cricket matches and all played between actually India and Maldives, India and Bangladesh, India and Sri Lanka here actually. So all these activities have been in one way or the other supported directly or indirectly by the club.
One thing I would like to point out, the number you said, you just mentioned 24,000 Indians in Maldives. We don't normally see, there's a very less amount as far as I think, as I know, in the construction sector. I mean, actively working in the construction, it's mostly Bangladeshis and working in the sector. We have very skilled Indians, mostly teachers, doctors, nurses, accountants. One thing, such clubs, with such clubs, one issue that rises is there is somewhat of a focus on skilled people or mostly educated people. As you mentioned, there are other skilled people and unskilled people also. How much of an importance do you give to giving your service to the whole scope of Indians here? Is there like have you experienced that it is more, you get more response from a particular group of Indians, or this particular group doesn't really
I think it's a very valid question. Yeah. To answer your question from two different angles. One is actually from the angle of the club. See, even at any given point, if you really look at the membership of the club, the general body of the club, I would say about 75% will be from the non-skilled sector actually. So I mean, like, say, those are the people who would, I think,
Actually
who
require
would always
the
require
support.
some kind of assistance
Yeah.
in one way or the other. See, people who are skilled, actually, they're very well connected, not only among themselves, they're connected to the relevant organizations like perhaps the Indian High Commission here, or maybe some organization or the other. They might have got some friends who are locals actually, who are working in relevant or important organizations also. So that's from the club's point of view. And the second thing is actually, like, I think it's also important to note that when you say you are a member of a club, it is, I think, first and foremost you who will have to feel that I need to be a member of the club for X number of reasons. See, I think in general, you need to be a member of a non-voluntary organization or an NGO because of a passion to work for the society. See, if you don't have that, and some people can always have the reason that I'm too busy, I don't have time for that. Now, I think, you know, a person who is extremely busy may not be part of India Club, but we are not really expecting them to be there throughout. And I think it is good that for one particular event, if you could just come, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, give your time. So I think that's basically kind of pulling up each person's time according to the availability. So in effect, to be precise, I think each and every individual who is an expatriate Indian here is on a work permit here. So which means, you know, they are on full-time employment here.
Yeah.
So ideally speaking, they should not have any free time actually
Yeah.
to be doing anything else. But this is actually chipping away a little bit of that precious little time in order to contribute to the society in one way or the other, or to build actually better relationships. That's basically how it is. Like, so unless and otherwise they feel, I mean, there are different incentives which we offer for different categories of people in order to join India Club. See, for example, you could be a good dancer, you want to really show your expertise, like there is a particular event coming
Events
up,
will be
you
there.
could be on stage performing. You're a good singer, you can be on stage performing. If you're a good tablaist, you can possibly play the tabla. I mean, like, the Indian Cultural Center actually collaborates very closely with India Club. So, I mean, you can be doing yoga there. I mean, a lot of things which are actually possible.
Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, whatever I want to say already he told. Actually, it is basically for the, so far the maximum, the club service taken by the unskilled workers who are here. And your point says, like, anyway, when a social club is there, some you might have heard some in a different way, that like your what you said in your question, just you go back like that. It's okay. We are trying to give the service to everyone, whether the membership they have taken or not. Also Indians, then not only the Indians, just as I told you the first time also, who requires the help, that we can do from the club side within our limits, definitely we will support.
Does that mean you would, like, non-Indians, I mean, like, say a Bangladeshi who has some problems with his work
Permit,
or
yes,
visa,
we
or,
have served that.
maybe he was like cheated by an agency here. Would
Exactly.
we
Well,
help in that?
I think we normally give them a way out, but what happens is we may be restricted to get involved very actively in that. See, for
Actively in
example, I think if it's a Bangladeshi worker, I think the problem is best resolved by the Bangladeshi High Commission.
Yeah.
So we may have limitations, but of course, to the extent that it is possible, we certainly
But
do
advise
help.
and
Yes, we do.
Definitely.
what
See,
to do.
See, for example, I think India Club has organized information sessions actually for expatriate workers. Now, for especially people who are on employment here. This information session was done, I think, a couple of years back, actually in collaboration with the police service, with immigration, and with relevant organizations, in such a way that, like, we had given time slots to each of these departments, where actually we were laying focus on trying to prevent instances where they could end up in legal hassles. Like, for example, the police would give information on what are the possible instances that you should avoid in the Maldives, being a foreigner here. And the same way in the case of immigration, like, what is the time that you need to be alarmed? Like, for example, your work permit is not being taken care of, your visa fee is not being paid, there is lack of transparency there, you're not aware, you're kept in the dark as to where is your passport. In such instances, what should be the instance where you should really take it up with immigration or with your employer or with the relevant High Commission? So this information session was held, if I remember correctly, at Iskandar School. It was attended. Actually by not only by Indians. It was attended by Indians, Sri Lankans, Bangladeshis, Nepalis, all these people actually. So I think it's very difficult to restrict our scope of services strictly to Indians.
Then again, coming back to Indians, you did mention you have a large number of members with you in the group, right? How do you have a number? I mean, club members.
Well, I think the previous records show 2,700 as the actual. I mean, the last. But normally, what happens is memberships tend to increase during the start of an executive committee year. Now, the major reason for this is because the club is structured in such a way that we have 10 executive committee members. Now, this doesn't mean that there are only 10 members. There are others also who are ex officio members. I mean, they might be, part of maybe a different organization. Like it could be a public sector company like Air India or the State Bank. So, among the 10 members, actually, 10 are elected and 10 are nominated by the chief patron, who is the High Commissioner of India. So when it comes to the 5 elected members, actually, there's a lot of activity. I mean, popularity decides who becomes the winner. So naturally, we see a rise in membership actually at that point in time, partly fueled by people who want to really become executive committee members, and partly because I think there is a kind of high level of activity at that time. Everyone is in high spirits. So basically, there is a rise in membership. But of late, I think that actually it gets. I mean, the membership is actually for a year. It's an annual membership. So I mean, we had to really do a little bit of restructuring this time actually, and just about 2 weeks back only the club is back in full force. Now we're actually on to a membership drive. That's how it is.
So one other thing I would like to know is you mentioned earlier that membership is given to people working here legally.
Yeah.
Illegal workers is a big problem in Maldives or in any other country, and we have to accept that there is a number of Indians also working here illegally in the Maldives. Do you focus any of your work on connecting with them and trying to bring them back into the legal system?
Of course.
What kind of work is being done there?
What we normally do is, see, the first thing, as I told you, we try to connect to all segments of the expatriate diaspora here, the Indian diaspora here. Now, in doing that, what happens is we are connected in such a way that actually, the executive committee members, they represent different sections of the society. They would be different language speaking people. See, for example, I'm not in the executive committee as such, I'm the executive secretary. So what happens is Krishna speaks Telugu. I mean, so he would be connected to all the Telugu speaking people actually. Anybody who's got a grievance ideally should connect to him. And like that, you have possibly a Tamil speaking person, you would have a Malayalam speaking person, you would have a Hindi speaking person. So what happens is whoever has, whether the person is a carpenter, whether he's a mason, whether he's an engineer, I mean, as you know, a lot of people have been actually cheated by employment agents also. Yes. That also happens. So, see, the reason why we restrict membership to people who are legally expatriates here is because I think the club is a registered entity here, and we work under local norms and conditions and laws. So what happens is we cannot really encourage illegal, I mean, people who are not holding a valid work permit to be a member. But what happens is once we try to bring the person into the realm of IndiaClub, into the normal system, and once he has got his passport in order and his visa in order and his work permit card in order, I think he is welcome to become a member. So there is actually, there are different ways in which actually we try to connect. See, in one way or the other, we come to know. Sometimes we even come across situations where sometimes people come here after 3 days, 4 days also, they've I mean, in the excitement, or maybe they're too busy, they forget to connect back to their home village or maybe town or wherever they are actually. So the parents might get concerned and they might raise an alarm, and that way also we help connect people.
Okay.
So that happens.
Otherwise, is it just do you like try to find people working illegally in the islands and all?
Yes.
And
No,
try
in Mali also there. Sometimes their work permit won't be renewed, and there will be a problem will be faced, like with that their owner who brought it here, or with some other issues will be there. When they come, when we identify that, first we will sort out to bring him into a that the problem that illegally is staying, that should be sorted out first. So we will focus on that. Parallelly, we will give a moral support to him, but like that we are finding in Mali still there are some Indians who are they don't even know that their work permit is expired, and every year to be renewed like that also. When we are going into the community people, when we are talking to them, then they get the problem when they come to the club. Then we are educating them. Actually, then they are approaching their owners who brought it here, and they are negotiating, and their work permit they are working to bring into the legal. Then we are taking a membership like that. It's not like because you are telling about illegal are there like that the question. It's still there because my past 3 months experience, I have attended 2, and one person already one time travel document we have taken and sent him back to India also. So it happens. For this, even our I Commission and immigration, all this immigration also, they support a lot to bring them into the legal regular membership, regular work permit like that.
That is what I was going to ask. How much support do you get from local authorities, the police, the immigration, and other relevant authorities?
Actually, we appreciate in that really.
We get a lot of support. Now, what happens is when we say that we get a lot of support, I think it is very unreasonable for us also to expect support beyond what is possible from them. See, there is a legal framework here. I think there are policies for each of the departments. The immigration has got set policies and procedures. The same way, police department also has got set policies and procedures. So I think within those framework, I think within whatever is possible, we try to request for assistance, and most of the time I think we get it done actually. I mean, because especially in the case of people whom we want to repatriate, who are affected very badly, of course, it has always been on time, and we have really got assistance, and we would really want to request for continued assistance on these platforms actually.
Then there's a whole new scope of problem I would like to shed a light on, the problem of taking we in the Maldives we have had a culture where especially people from other countries who are working here, there's a lot of differentiating within the community. I mean, sometimes the workers here, they are treated very badly, and there are human rights violations and such issues too. Have you been dealing with these issues, or have you been trying to make people aware regarding these issues?
Well, awareness is something which we try to create as much as possible, because I think before a crime is committed or before anything wrong is committed, the best thing would be to have all possible information on different areas of work. So I think referring specifically to your question, actually, like kind of workers being treated badly, I mean, we have not come across very many instances like that, but what happens is largely it is between the employer and the employee. We very rarely we come to know of it, but of course when we come to know of it, actually we try to really take it up with the employee first and find out basically what exactly could be the possible reason why this is happening. But then, as I said, actually, this is not a very common scenario as far as actually like Indian expatriates are concerned. I don't think we've come across very many instances like that.
I got very few, even I sorted out.
Yes.
Very easy.
So the problem is there, but not as much
Well,
as.
I think it's actually, I think it's possibly not even good to generalize
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
what
it's-
happens is these are isolated instances
Yeah.
where it's largely dependent upon perhaps not even the company, it's perhaps between two individuals.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think any company here.
No,
Yeah.
my focus is not really specifically the company, even
Yeah.
in the community,
Yeah.
even on the roads, even on at a cafe or something. With the general public, there is some kind of differentiating.
Well, I think
And-
our efforts as I told you, we do India Maldives Friendship Festival. We try to do, like a joint walk on a particular day. These activities are mostly aimed at bridging these actually kind of
The relation.
discrepancies that we have. I believe, to some extent, I think every society has got people who think very broadly, and sometimes people who think, not that broadly.
Yeah.
So what happens is, I think it's a mix always. I think this is a problem which we have almost in all the countries. So largely, I think better connectivity and possibly these kind of activities we feel can go a long way in bridging these kind of gaps that we have.
Let's go in a bit into the activities you run. I believe you have been doing a lot of work here since 2008. So could we just highlight some activities that you do? I mean, continuously do, and then you have done in the past that are like notable.
Okay. I think something which we've been consistently doing, Krishna, I think is the blood donation
donation.
camps actually. So we have been recognized by the Maldivian Blood Donors
Thalassemia
and
Center.
Thalassemia Center as well. We've organized several blood donation camps. There have been medical camps which have been organized, and most of the time actually it's the India Maldives Friendship Festival. Last January we had a week of Dosti Ekuvarikam. Basically, we had various activities under that where there were seminars and there were activities aimed at actually educating people from both the countries on what each other country is actually doing, and as well as the activities of the club. In addition to that, actually the executive committee is spread. It's actually divided into different categories. We have, as I told you, we have 10 members. One person takes care of the cultural activities, one person takes care of the sports activities, there's one person who is focusing on welfare activities, and there'll be one person who would be looking after the administrative affairs of the club, one person on the finance side actually. So different people have taken up different roles. So each person concentrates on a particular realm of activity. Say the cultural person, the cultural secretary, I mean, as the person is called, actually he or she would possibly be looking at ways of bringing the Indian and Maldivian cultures together. Like, say for example, there could be a joint cultural festival. Say for example, you look at the presence of the Indian Cultural Center here, and you see a lot of Maldivians actually, they sing the old Hindi songs there actually.
Yeah.
So they play the tabla. The same way, Boduberu is part of almost, I think, all our festivities, all the activities that we have. Let it be an event to celebrate the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, that's actually Foreigners' Day, actually, Expatriates' Day. We had it at Olympus a couple of months back. Let it be that, let it be any event actually. So Boduberu is part of
Everything we do.
yeah. So what happens is we have a balanced activity that way. Like that, you look at sports. There would be activities which would be focused on possibly inter and intra-community activities, like that's also being done. So there's been a wide range of activities actually which we do, and the latest one which we supported was the India Health Expo, which was held at Darbarge. So IndiaClub was in charge of the registration. We were actively assisting them, in the setup and the organization.
Do you have any notable activities arranged for this year?
Yeah,
the rest of the year?
We are making a calendar now, because just very recently the fresh year calendars we are making now. So we will.
See, I think what is on agenda as of now is to increase the membership as the first point. With this actually we are looking at actively harnessing potential members. Like we are trying to have different active groups, like say groups of doctors, groups of teachers, groups of accountants, so that actually, and see for example, one thing which has been planned is to have like all the accountants together. I think it's a significant number when you look at Indian accountants, to have all the accountants together and to use that platform in order to connect to MIRA, the Maldives Inland Revenue Authority. Like maybe one of the officers could, training officers could come and provide like information on various aspects, on latest updates and what is actually going on. And possibly it becomes a separate forum for these accountants to really clarify, see, which otherwise they may not really want to in a public forum. So this becomes a separate forum for them to really clarify with them, actually, for the MIRA authorities, like whether, like say, a particular situation, how could things be carried out. So like that, I'm sure like most problems are not very generic. I think problems are sometimes specific to one particular industry or one particular segment. So sometimes doctors may have a specific issue. Teachers might have a totally different issue which may be totally not relevant to the other segment. So we try to bring these groups of people, try to address, I think, it's not only IndiaClub, but what happens is the High Commission is also trying to address these issues in a balanced way.
Like a knowledge sharing that
Yes.
the groups between.
So, before we go to a break, I would like to just see if there's, you're running a club. Obviously, there would be difficulties and challenges. What are the challenges that you face? I mean, it's been around 8 years now,
Yes.
so you would have gone through a lot and seen a lot. So, are there any particular challenges that you face?
Well, I think for like any other organization, for a club to work, to exist, and to sustain its operations, financial support is the most challenging thing, actually. See, we collect 150 rupiah as annual membership fee from all the members. In addition to that, there used to be a privileged membership status, actually, which was a limited group of about 50 people. Maximum is 50, actually. Like they contribute 1,500 rupiah each. It's not that privileged members get any privileges, but actually, it's just that we've created a class so that actually that could be an income stream also. But of course, within whatever is possible, we have tried to create, like for example, privileged members will get invitations to most of the cultural events and they don't have to pay a price for that, or they don't have to purchase a ticket for that. Like that's the best that we could do, so we do that. But out of the 150 that we collect, I think we have actually previously we had joined for a bulk insurance scheme, actually, so that if anybody meets with an accidental death, like they would get about 50,000 rupiah. I mean, this possibly becomes a blessing in disguise for an employee who is actually, sometimes he's totally new here and he might have joined the work only just about 6 or 7 months back, and he wouldn't have really even covered the cost of him coming here. So I think that could be a blessing in disguise, actually. And it's not that the employer doesn't support. In most cases, employers, they are very supportive in really sending the body back, the mortal remains back, or maybe possibly assisting them with medical and repatriation. But what happens is we have really gone one step ahead in doing this. So we are negotiating with other insurance companies also, if somebody can give us a better offer. I mean, out of which actually, like, the card cost is also there. I mean, there's a membership card. And then of course insurance cost is also, like when you look at it, maybe about 60 or 70 rupiah is what remains for the whole year to run the club. So we currently work on a rented premises, actually. So it's not really like very easy to obtain the finances. You can't simply go and ask for money from people. So what happens is, when we have these festivals and activities, we normally look for sponsorships, and we try not to spend part of the money that is really being raised, and whatever is the surplus goes on to fund other activities like our administrative costs. Now that's from the financial side. And what happens, like, I don't think we have very many challenges otherwise, but only thing is we need to now streamline the club on, again, financially legal lines. Like for example, now I think we need a registration with MIRA. I mean, this is in process. Actually, we 2 of our members are actually actively working on streamlining the club in lines with the financial regulations here. So because when we registered in 2008, actually it was nothing. I mean, like there was nothing as such. So right, what happens is now we have to really submit our reports annually to the Home Ministry. Plus, I think we've got to get MIRA approval actually for certain things, and we need to be registered with MIRA also. And we are actually in the process of going ahead with that. So other than that, I don't think we have any serious constraints in our operation.
Yeah, but there will be some issues will rise because India is like as Manoj said, that different languages and different states people will come. So we are joining at one place in the sense definitely there will be some issues will come, internal issues and other 2-3 people and some different kind of behavior and all. So such challenges we have to mediate and we have to explain them, educate them, and like that some issues will rise us, but we will solve. We all together we solve and we are going ahead.
Even when it comes to maybe a particular event, like maybe the Foreign Minister of India visiting, probably it may be practically impossible to invite all the 24,000 in a balanced manner. So I'm sure how much ever fairly we try to do that, I think there would be a particular section who would possibly not be very happy with the way how things went. I mean, those I think are routine challenges.
Those are issues. Those are just we are.
We'll go into a break now, and then when we return, we'll talk more about these issues. Mihisabong hama kuda mi wagut kolaka program med kanal ma phone ekast befuna ek baddo kora nerad kurbiya denti befuna ke baddo koraro an me the program ga India Club ba be hegotum me dekewunu gina wahagataken aun men hudasa kollaf tibefuna me dive bohom genesteve thomas ek korana Manoj aun ne ki bare Manoj aki gina dosan dege banne rajyege mase kora wafa dirulu wamungenda beflaka wati den Manoj dive bohom ormena molwa de penka orme umid kuren misa kuda wagut kolga fo ormena kes badda hodna
ahannaki ekani veriye evves mihegge loibbe alalume nulibe libeni mulinves hitama
alhamdulillah aharenge muli tiriyolon ujalawitte ahanna aharenge firimihaya ailage lobilibe mashallah
ಉಫಾವಿರಿಕಮಕಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅಂಹಿನಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಸ್ಹಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂಹಿನು ಹೇಲುಂ ತೆರೆಕುರುಮ ಬಾವ ಹಾಸ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 17 ಅಶಾರ ಅದಿ ನವಾರಾಗ ಟಿಕೆಟ್ ಬುಕ್ ಕುರೆವುಮ ನುವೈನ್ ಅಶೆ ಫಹಿಸ್ಸುಮೆ ಎಕೆತ್ತಿನ ತಿನಕ ಗುಳುವ ನುವತ www.enlighten.mahaldeep.org ಜಿಯಾರಿ ಕ್ರವ್ವ
Anakes program maraban men miyadu mi badda kollani IndiaClub den Furamendhuru ga hem program te kes egotan ormen hama IndiaClub mes mi kuramunda masekketaka adi befurna dimaya fohore eki gunjon taka mi wahatan ormen mi dakkadani ormen mi kudukudu wagut kolaka program edkonda muge kuring ormen ingeresi bahum boda wahata kuregendi misa wandu mi eruga dekevunu wahatan hulasa kollati befurna me dive bonganisten Manoj eru ormena mi dekkunu wahaka mi rajyega asako mi faha kolambeno ha muhimu kantatake mi hama rajyega mi gawada hidafa ulamunda India mi hum e gaaduge tere gines adum mi rajye gaad mi ganuna eggota mase kurumugu fursat hoda dinma kuramunda masekkete kobata IndiaClub mi kamuga mi kiha warkatto mi kamuga tere wannani adi ki konkal masekkete ketto kuraveni
ade algon koring denne we hadang hama mi IndiaClub ki 70% voluntary organization ege ta hama hen mi IndiaClub terega innane eki executive committee member eki daira masake korabe fulun ege terega eb member hasakon innane welfare activities kantataka ege ebe fula ge masake terega den komigota voluntary kan ebe fula kura warakan innane masake kamage ebe fula ki fudevara ka hama fula kon me kantaka masake kurati den misalaka me eves India mi heko me work permit nunia visa netigen uleiru ene ken high commissioner genes ken ene kudokon sual kollafa emme fahun aduha enege passport ko bato emme fahun enege ID card ebetto urihache balalafa then commerce waraka discuss ko gen den harmen furtama balani employer contact kurave to den anem bunanya ma harmen directly ma bodu kanta kurave nonna nega ekama ko es kaganda ka 90% chances ka hama anem bunanya employer wara bodu support kureng employers beenumane ede ekan rangolo kurang ehmema den onna gotaki harmen relevant organizations eden ege gule me mosus tataka misalak immigration veja immigration den passport kamasile vejam Indian High Commission vese ehi veda ehi veda onna possibility ebe ehmema den tihin commerce kotokon enege legal stream terege keneveto araboda maseke kuran den anem bodunya ma boda goswapuna kantete vejam den immigration ke hodde aikon den ene repatriate korveto balan hambura rasha phone wale veto balan passport gelli phone kam vejam one time travel document hadagen nam ves ene focus ka waane den commerce kotokon ene rasha phone walo ehen ama wara gina case to ko inna ardege gituru ves misalaka mi heko niya vejam den enege miharo mi body amura rasha phone ves arma wara boda ega tere actively involved in me sponsor as part that can kena kantata kurave then me ge bai me haro ek kushuta ko jaluga ole India me hum western me regular kon hama jala visit kurai wese me hunna eves kala misala ke humanitarian assistance ade komme kote vesama ganun ge loluga he me hum ko koffon na ne heme den dia sentenced by me hum am I think waiting egota ehme den ega vesama humanitarian side unge ves kame koran bene vejjam salaka legal assistance to me russian eves communication ekale ves koran bene vejjam den e vesama ehi veden hama
den mige iturun den hama me online gife gotum vejjar korin de karunu wahataka badaru ves warabodeka divehi rajyege mujtamo ya mujtamo me mase koran asme wale India ರೈತುನ್ನ ದೆತ್ತರೆ ಮಿ ಗುಳುಂಬದೆ ಕುರ್ಮಟ್ಟಕ ವರ ಬಾವರ ಕರಕತ್ತಕೆ ಕುರಿಗೆಂದೆ ಫಾಹಕೊಲ್ದೆ ಫಾಣಂತು ಹಮ ಹಾಸಕೊ ಮಿ ಗುಳುಂಬದೆ ಕುರುಮೆ ಗೊತುಂ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಗೆ ಫರಾತುಂ ದಿವೆಹಿನ್ನ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ರೈತುನ್ನ ಎಕುವೇರಿ ಮಾಹೋ ಲೆಗ್ಗ ಗುಳುಂಬದೆ ಕುರುಮೆ ಗೊತುಂ ಎಕುವೆಗೆಂ ಕುರಿಗೆಂದೆ ಹರಕತ್ತ
me I think engi wadan fadan me haro anen hen algon specific kon echelu bunyakas engena kannenge me haro me by default divehinna ki hama India mi hunna wara attached wan misalaka me Trivandrum no gos hunna divehim wara maduwana kannenge emi anen hen bunanya e gulu hunna ekama ko sama harmen warabboda masake kurang e miharo eves kala mi opportunity en libijja mundenge e cooperation equity kun promote koraveto tigotan hada kantatterege innana mostly cultural com misalaka me lawage zariya inuniyam miharo me pro ek music program ge zariya hama egotan harmen we try to connect egotan innane me India cultural center hame innana den devihinna gosa free kon yoga ves koreve nathing mege ves India Club wara boda me India cultural center ves wara close kom masake kurang then egotan innane me join kon innane hinguma then combined walks taka den India Maldives friendship festival innane ege therege vesama devihi artist panna me artist unna den India artist unna vesama ekkom ves stage kom masake kuragoi by far ella wage ebba hama me India me lawkiyum tere hama rangala kiya hama anakapu anaside hama dive lawkiyum tere kam quran egota koriyadde then ege iturun information me for ko dinu batta ka sahalmen ekiko iggotum misalaka me India medical expo ves aningen bonanya India siara kura me medical requirements ka siara kura oriha befurun hama forihama malumate hoden wegen harme gaganda ka vissaka waraka medical institutions us kenasa parafahum kanne ge asai organize kori egota ekiko iggotum harmen connect koraveto me balane egeta then igiturun misalaka emme maduvegen by far India medical visa dam benuwa mehe ko denge base hier benuwa je maharme form fill was ko den harme form submit was ko den harme ge hoda viste avaha benuwa jam ege wasama ehe terven amaden harmen ge limitations terega yar warabudu tafaati ki anehen munanya මේ රාජ්‍යගොල්ලේ දිවස්සෙක් ඉඳන් එමෙහුන්ගේ ගාවමේ එම තිබෙෆුන් හම මිසා උලේ බෙෆුන් දෙත හැම ඉන්දියා මිහෙක වාන දින් කොමස් කොම්මේ මිහෙවි එකස් කොමස් එම්ප්ලොයර් එක දර්ශන් හුන්න මි එනගේ අනගෙම් රුණා ටයිම් වර ලිමිටඩ් වාන විකාල කන්තත කුර එකම ලිමිටඩ් ටයිම් තෙරේක එන කුරවේ හම මැක්සිමම් කන්තත ඒගොත කොද්දේ ඒතෝ බලන්න
then ukurduos me division west me India Club visit ko for the MMS daskuravene India languages me has Hindi classes training in then
Hindi classes in I think we have regional languages also Tamil West Bena
Vijaya then me daskuravene daneka yoga in Indian cultural center they are teaching the same one of our because I'm a senior student in Indian cultural center now I also can give the training if anyone wants they can come to the India Club we announced some timings and that time the response was very poor and we send them to the Indian cultural center again like that but India Club is also we are looking the increase the relation like Maldives and between
we have come to almost an end of the program. Is there something you would like to add, both of from the club?
Well, I think we would like to, on behalf of the club actually, and on behalf of the executive committee and the general body of the club, we would like to thank SanguTV for the opportunity that you have given us. I believe this has given some kind of exposure, and it will help to throw some light on our activities. And we hope to receive maximum patronage, maximum support from all agencies in Maldives, whether it is government or non-governmental, in the course of our operations. And we hope to be a part of Maldives' success story at any point in time, actually.
You are already a part of it. I mean, India has been there since the beginning, and we owe part of our independence to India, 1988 incident. Krishna, something you would like to add?
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for giving this an opportunity for our club.
I also would like to thank both of you for coming on to the program and then giving us very valuable information about the work you do here. Ormen miyaduge Furamendhuru program nimaka miyai miyadu ormen na midaka ayoni India Club ge faratun rajya kurumunda ekeki kurigenda ekeki harakataka adi kurumunda masiketoge ವಾಹಕ ಅವರ್ಮೆಂ ತಿಬೆಫರ್ನಾಮೆ ಮಿಗೆನಸ್ತಿನಿ ಅವರ್ಮೆಂ ಮಾದಮಾಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಇರದ್ ಕುರವ್ಯ ಹಾಸ ಕೊಲ್ಲಾಣಿ ಮಾದಮಾರೆ ಫೆಶುಮ ಹಮಜೀಫವ ಎನ್ಲೈಟನ್ ಡು ಯು ನೋ ಮಿ ಅಂಗಂ ಬೆಫುನುನ್ನ ಅಂಗನು ಬಾರೋ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಸ ಕೊರವೆಗೆ ಮಹಲ್ದೀಪ್ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಬಾವ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ mi conference ge emme fahuge mawlumat madmare conference feshuma hamaji fawar emme fahuge mawlumat tibefurna hame genestinu mattaka hanme madma erad kurave badda kollani e conference agole emme fahuge mawlumat ka kiga den miyaduge program ke istibefurna kamudiya gina mawlumat ke libigen dia program ka vikaman arlo med kurang miyaduge program es belleviti shukriya wassalamu alaikum